Are they
There's
sure they didn't get the wrong map?
there's
You
so
know
much
what?
mad
Seen it
stuff.
before, we're not
Okay,
doing
so
it. You know
Omen
how Cena
Harbor.
misclicked last week on the
Sova.
game?
Yeah, he misclicked, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he misclicked.
Sova's
Sure,
fine.
He
Yeah,
misclicked.
yeah.
Are we? Is this just a pattern now?
Okay, this comp's pretty good, to be
I
fair.
need to see
I think this comp
correction
could
from
could
CNET
have a
on the
lot.
Omen.
I don't know
A lot
why.
of things were off timing last time, but you know, again, you were right about the composition.
Sure.
I really want to see how they're going to make this
They're-
work.
they're
Probably
both-
they've
they're both
learned
doing-
and definitely understood that they'd rather have double initiator and double
Okay,
controller,
sure.
plus
I'm
a
in for
Sentinel to
them both.
literally control over the entirety of Lotus. They were playing everything for retake.
Heretics
now they
picked
have a
this,
little bit
so
extra
Heretics must be
control.
popping
And
in
we're talking
prax
about
on
the
this
foot
map.
thing, right? And most importantly, is the matter of fact that this is the first time we see Kellogg's on Neon, and they come closer and closer to that foot composition. I think that is super important to see because this could be the change that maybe catches Navi off guard.
CNET Omen. They did CNET.
Catch
They
him
did
off guard.
CNET
Our
Omen
casters
last
are
time
having a boogie in the
on
room, guys. What are you dancing to?
this map. They did it on this map.
We're basically a party at this point, aren't we? It's the Navi merry-go-round of agents.
That was someone else. I think maybe that was the Turkish caster. We just look very,
those guys
very
like
similar.
dancing.
I'm very like calm, collected. I never do it, never dance. It's not me at all. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got some cool agent compositions coming through. I'm really excited to see how this matchup is going to go. We were talking in the green room before to Vincent, and I was going, I think you're going to see some
Chat, what did
crazy
you lot
stuff
think I
today.
said?
And he went, what?
CNET
You think Navi are going to
Omen.
pull something else crazy out of the bag? And I was like, yes, definitely.
Oh.
We've got it. I think running a double controller, double initiator, removing out the gecko was a very
Dude, that
big
took me
part
so
of
long,
their
I was like,
executions when they played against
what?
Toy. And rather than sort of changing things up in a way of like working out how to fix things, they went, okay, we're going to move away from that completely and run a completely different composition. On the other side of things, then having the Neon brought into play, very exciting stuff. I think it's an agent that can work fantastically well on this map, but it needs a lot of support, and that's been my main criticism of this Heretic side. You need to set Kellogg's up. You can't expect him to do it all on his own.
And equally on the other side, you're looking at Shao coming across, of course. We haven't really seen him in place before. What he's done before has always been the gecko.
Okay.
You look at the lineups, how it's played across before, so quietly excited to see how he does this over here as well, what that brings into the lineup.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited for
remember, don't
both of
forget,
these.
sorry, the
This
last
combo
time
will be
round we saw
interesting to
this
see.
map out of
Okay,
Navi on Play Day 1
Navi
against
on
Toy.
defense,
It was
Heretics on
38
attack.
games. Exactly.
So yeah, I mean this comp on
38 round
attack's
game,
just going to be
20 to
splitting all the
18,
time,
it was
so I
absolute
guess it's a
chaos.
lot
Now,
of A
thinking,
control.
based on how map 1 went,
No
this could be one of the
duelist.
shorter series that we see out of Navi.
We'll have to wait and see. Mixer already
Speaking of
trying to
splits, we go straight in for
push
one.
that little bit more aggressive.
Bit of damage done, but they're going to be able to get a plant and get good positions. Keep an eye on this Omen. Damn, these. I'm going to just I'm going to square everything. We're moving to squares, circles are done.
Trying to lock down anybody rotating in from the other side, but for now at least the majority are looking to wait their mate back in, not from the A side.
Yeah, not too bad at the moment. How on earth do they retake this?
Well and be able to, contest as the Omen playing out towards one side, but on site is where it's all going down.
Oh my
Angel and Shao get one back apiece so far.
What is the? What have we missed? I've tuned into this duel midway through, and it looks mental.
And it's a Bova to come out on top, securing at least out towards Ruins here, a Rubble, sorry. And now we'll see what the push comes through like.
Wow,
On
Recon's
site
nice there.
itself, Navi have that control. It's beautiful. And I'm wondering if this
Time's
point,
getting low.
Heretics are saying it's done and dusted and we're getting out of
All the
dodge.
mollies have been done.
Yeah, I don't know if there's even going to be enough time. It won't matter anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's done, right?
The shot before they can even get
Damn, okay.
anywhere
Nice
near
pistol
it.
from them.
And Mixor is going to be there at the
It's
end
a nice
to
pistol.
pick
They did
off
good.
the remaining to a pistol round
Who is
for
this?
Heretics. An
Avova.
important
Avova
start
did
on their
really
map
well.
choice.
Yeah, massive start as
The
well.
1v1, and he made the Omen. We didn't fully see it, but he made the Omen waste so much time over towards Secret that
at points
wasn't really involved at
convincing
all.
is probably the best way I can describe it in the nicest terms. See them turn it around here, at least in the first round, is a real big statement for them that actually this could yet go to all 3 maps.
Fnatic controlling with this. I think the Heretics have a good chance with this comp, is what I'm thinking, but we'll see.
A lot of early players towards that A side of the map.
It should be pretty one-dimensional how this plays, but I imagine CNED's just going to be TPing in duelist style.
Potentially garner an orb for Angel.
Like it might be a little bit how we saw like BBL play Omen on Icebox.
A little bit of extra damage.
Really keen to see what the pressure looks like when it comes out at some stage as well, making use of the Neon, as we've spoken about a few times here. Hasn't been the big hit in the previous round, but I imagine in a run up towards A or even in towards C and going deep on that, that's when you'll really see this agent start to come online. Slow progress so far.
Yeah, it's real slow. 2 people here though.
Well, by the looks of things, and here we go once again. It's going to be that hit
Okay,
straight towards
that's
B.
one way to
Kellogg
enter. He might switch guns.
sliding down in front of
Yeah, might
Segetsu,
definitely switch
dropping
guns
into
after
the
this
grave.
one.
They've got the B control entirely here, and Navi are now the ones that have to rotate back on.
I'll be interested to see how much of their
Oh, okay, all the
attack
heal.
side revolves
Heal will
around this
do.
B side. Back-to-back rounds, we've seen them go for after plants on B. Not the most common because it is probably the easiest of the lot to go for those retakes. Obviously, in this round, not much of an expectation on the other side, and keeping things squeaky
Nicely
clean.
done. Yeah,
Really good
only a
start from
little bit.
Heretics
We
so
got
far.
armor rebuy
big
here,
hit, as well,
and
I
this
think
armor will
it's the
stay the
pace they're coming
same.
at as well,
So
and
this
you
is
and I were
nice. It's a
talking
pretty
about
good
Neon in
bonus
the
at the
pre-game
moment,
scene, well,
and yeah,
especially
it's an
since,
important
you
round for
know,
Navi.
jet meta at the minute, it seems everyone's
I think they
running
need
that
to
as their go-to
try,
duelist, and you said you
again,
don't really
in my
see
head, they need to
all that
try
much
and
more
get a lot
Neon. Like, when you
on
do play,
the
you've got to
defense
put that
because their
support
attack
behind her.
should be
And,
pretty
you
hard,
know,
especially
let's be
against this
honest,
comp.
Kellogg's
Like
one
it
of those players
has
that we've seen several times. Be a
it has some
little bit
good
too far
stopping
ahead
power.
against
The
a team
Heretics
that
comp.
goes looking for entry engagements. At least here he's still playing quite close to his
It's pretty hard for them to get through
choke
choke points without doing a split. So yeah, A control. As long as they can hold A
Things are looking
control
good
in
so
their
far.
defense.
Navi's struggling to deal with the pace.
I actually think the Navi
Early
comp on
utility
attack is
expended by either
incredibly
side.
one-dimensional. The more I
Flash
think
into
about it, but
Paranoia and
maybe they have something else for
actually
me.
just giving up that map control almost immediately. Killjoy set up in on this C side and having all of Harbor's util still ready to
So
try
on
and
Pearl,
segment
it's
any sort
great,
of
man. I
push,
love
but
it.
This is pacey from Heretics.
It is, now they've got to try and push the way through the wall, mind you, and it looks like they might well just try and go for it. They haven't been deterred by the Harbour wall coming up, and here we go. Utility gets dropped in.
Oh
Kellogg's
my
is straight in, but Angel
goodness,
finds
though.
him
What is
first.
that
Comes
shot
before
that he's just
Zeke, though.
hit?
Gets the train back on the other side. Out come the Seekers too, as Heretics once again flood.
Damn, I hope we get that replay. I guarantee that looked wild.
Upgrading some of the weaponry as they go, leaving this as a pretty awkward retake. A stack up of utility, one of the controllers already down, and it's going to be a tough way back in.
Yeah, very hard retake, especially with this pause.
Really
This pause a really good plan if Killjoy wants to play it super safe.
Otherwise coming out, Zipan does get the one, but here comes Zeke and Mixwell finding themselves too, and now it's Xiao pushing in with a little bit of help coming out from the recon dart, but that is pretty much all he is going to find.
Nicely
Below
done.
half HP, opts instead by the looks of it to try and hold on to this rifle, is going to back away.
Yeah, this one could definitely backfire.
This is what I
Navi.
love. We're right next door to the Spanish
what's the third
casters,
map again?
who,
We've got
by
a
the way,
Sen?
are both
Okay.
they're dressed in
Just
not
checking.
only one with a Heretics jersey
Just
and the other with
checking nice
a
and early.
Heretics scarf. But the second Heretics get like a big round, you could just hear them losing their minds. Very much enjoyable.
Are you suggesting they're biased towards Heretics, Tom?
Never, of course not.
No, they wouldn't do that. They're consummate professionals.
It was just a coincidence with
So
the
they
attire.
save a gun, they're going to be able to buy some sheriffs
Yeah,
on
a
top
bit
of this,
like
but
Kukuga
yeah,
just
Heretics have
happened
a
to be
great
wearing
chance
that
to stack up a lot of money. The two
It is
people
exactly
survive here
the
as well.
same thing, I guarantee. But yeah, good little switch of things there as well, coming out from Heretics, moving their way off towards the other side, and you're responding well so far, it feels. It's really on Navi here to be the ones that need to wake up into this game, because Heretics have dragged them around the map so far, forced them into post plants constantly, with no real site control established when the hit does come through, and it's just making things look really awkward for Navi.
Yeah, I'm liking the pacing as well of Heretics. Very direct. They're not necessarily leaving too many lurks around, just basically trying to work off the trades, get those
You can
entries
type
into
in
the
chat,
site,
I mean,
which
yeah,
Kellogg's
if you
has
want
been
to.
working wonders. And
You'll probably get told off
again,
if it's
just-
something
I
rude,
feel like
but
keeping things a little bit more basic than they have done with some of their other compositions.
again, when we
Just
used to
going
play
for
like
not only agents that
C9 and
historically have been pretty decent for some
pretty
of the
much
players,
the
but ones
Americans,
that
they would
maybe have that
often,
little bit of
you'd
extra
often get
comfort.
some smiley faces in there.
You got Angel trying to poke his head forward. Did
Which is
take
the
that
main
back
thing we
turret,
see.
which really is kind of convinced Heretics. Okay, that's the way to push. Now this time around, Navi are here to meet them. The
That's a
problem
nice
is
hit.
they're largely down on guns. Only
Yeah,
Xiao
there
has a
are
rifle
4
to
people
be able
here
to
though,
contest onto
so
this one. So really, Heretics should be able to blitz their way through. They find themselves one looking into a second, but Xiao's there first, so it gets into another, and finally Xiao does fall.
Wait, they put
Rifle
a-
now in Angel's hands,
they
and
put
can
an
he
ult
turn
into
anything
this.
around? He finds one for himself, but that looks to
Damn,
be
they
all
put an
that
ult
she
into this
wrote.
as well. This is
Through
going
with the
really
closing kill,
badly for
Heretics
Navi.
up 4-0.
Yeah, they actually committed the Reckoning to that. I think that was the ult thrown out by Navi, so they clearly thought in their minds, okay, we got a good opportunity to win
Money
this one.
out of control.
And I almost feel like just the sheer
We
confidence
got some
of
5Ks,
Heretics to actually
4Ks.
fight in
Yeah,
towards
Navi
their
needs to
spawn,
time out
deny
early
them
here.
that
They
extra
do
space,
manage this
getting
first
back
time.
in
We see
and
it as well.
isolating
Cned's
those
got the op
individual
out.
duels. A risk taken
Yeah,
by
they need
Navi
to start
and
getting some
one that
rounds,
hasn't
especially
paid
as they
off, and
just
for
lost
that,
an ult
they're
into
gonna
this
take
one.
themselves a pause, because right now they're just being
Heretics doing a lot
by the
of
side
lot
of
of C,
Heretics
but
with just these pacey
they're keeping it
takes.
nice and simple in the
Doing
anti-eco
well.
runs.
Massive turnaround compared to what we saw back on the previous map. You know, making good use of the neon, the aggression, the knee slides in, like a Rockchik getting in there, finding a couple of opening kills and really just exploding things up for the rest of the team. You know, we saw this back on the first map, 5 rounds in, we had Navi ahead, I believe it was 5-0. And that's when we saw a tactical timeout come in. A similar thing coming in here for Heretics after just 4, and Navi are now the ones that have got to try and figure out a way back into the game.
Yeah, well, they've already got more rounds on Heretics side than they did in the entirety of the
Yeah, I
last
kind of
map,
agree
so
with
it's a good
Pearl
sign.
on
it's
that.
definitely
I don't
looking
think
very,
Pearl's the
very
most
good
interesting
here.
map to
Again, though,
watch.
this is something that Navi are the Masters have taken a pause, adapting their style. 'Cause
Still
the
not
thing is
decided
so
what I
far,
like in terms of duelists on this
firstly,
map.
that just
I-
with how quick a lot of these
the
rounds are to get
Neon,
into the afterplant, it's been very
Neon Jet and
difficult for them
Raze,
to
I'm just
sort of
like, they all look
play around with the
decent.
map and get their
I don't know.
rotations in
I don't know what
time.
I'd even
Obviously, there's going
rank
to be
them
the
as.
argument that, again, the more
I definitely
Heretics do this, the
seen,
easier it's
definitely
gonna be
like
to read,
Neon
but
playing
they've
this
been switching
area.
up regularly what map
It
control
looks
they're
pretty
fighting
cool, and
for
obviously
early
it's
in the
good
round,
for
and again,
early
they're going to
on
switch it once
defense,
more.
early
The
A
difference
control.
this time, though,
What about the node duelist? I mean, in theory it can definitely work, but A becomes a lot, like this becomes heavy priority to get out over towards A.
What they can do with this. If they lose this op, this will be really painful. So thinking getting out here was the right call.
I like this though. Already a flash thrown in, forcing him back completely stunned up as well. So they've done well with their utility to just make these initial
Yeah,
battles
CNET has
that
an
much
op here
more
though, and
awkward.
honestly they might
Now
not
Xiao's
expect
going to be
it.
the one under pressure again. Just
He's also
making their
very
move towards this
committed in
A side within
theory.
the first 30, 40
Could
seconds
try
of
and
the round.
TP out, but
And although the rest of the team are maybe being that little bit more patient, Kellogg's has got that control.
I like the aggression out of Xiao so far. Got the dog quite early on, sent the owl round as well. The owl
so a
drove,
lot of
just
people
looking
going
for
down. We're going to
that
see
little bit of
Killjoy ult,
information. Are
and
they
what's
still
the
pushing
reaction
into
for
here?
it?
But now their worst nightmare comes to life.
Literally
Out
nothing.
comes the lockdown, and that's another thing that we're going to have to see Navi worry about.
When does
I
CNET
think
leave?
they've got to respect it.
Wait, when does CNET
CNET
leave?
waiting around that little bit longer just to try and catch them. It doesn't really matter that he gets detained, he escapes, that's the main thing. Now the lurking Zeke in mid has been taken out, finally having a man advantage, but with the Viper's Pit now being expended as well, they are using everything on the Heretic side.
Understandably so, because again, Navi have invested so much in trying to win this round. The back of the timeout, Heretics do not want to give them an inch of room to breathe.
Almost played that
now,
really
Navi
well.
have found themselves a couple of kills back here, and may still be in with a chance, but can they play around these ults effectively? It's a 3v2,
Oh,
but Boo on the flank
hero
has got
play at the
two.
moment.
That's the kind of shutdown you're looking for.
Got to spam on this, 1 HP because of the Viper ult. Damn, the 2v4 all came down to Boo hitting his shots over towards A main. That was really nice. Then just a spam over towards the spike because the Viper ult was still up. They handled that really nicely. Good amount of ults used into that as well. Good, like, it's a very nice snowball from them at the moment, right? They've had we've had 2 full buys. This is the second buy that came in, most important one for Navi, and they managed to just use all their ults against it. It's good.
But again, so much invested by Heretics and well used, backing off the ultimates. Really looking to take the war to Navi.
Yeah, it was a nice
there,
2v4.
to slow them down, and it
Again,
was the right
Boo
call.
did everything.
Because now all you've got is Angel playing on the back of a Guardian, the other 4 all sat on Sheriffs and Pistols. It's just not looking like a good round for Navi. Basically going into an eco
that's the
here.
hero gun,
Although
though.
one does come across, and I'm pretty sure they'll fancy Kellogg's.
Okay, hero gun, and they've done this, but if they wanted to flash here,
the rest of the team
okay, they don't have a
saving for the
flash.
next round.
I wonder if they had a flash, they would have gone for this to try to get the
maybe
gun.
trying to make this one that little bit more
Kojak,
costly, but
thank you
also
so much, mate.
gives them
Appreciate it.
more of an
Kojak, a
opportunity
whole
to
year
win
now.
Again,
Chat,
though,
let's get some
it's a
slogs in
slow
for
walk-up,
Kojak.
but
Appreciate the
once we
support,
actually do
man.
have a lurk
Whole
coming
year,
through
and also
from
just
the
crazy
side
amounts of gifted.
of
Appreciate
Heretics,
you,
maybe
dude.
hoping that the presence on one side of the map is going to give them space elsewhere. Nice shot from
That's the
Zeke.
hero gun that they
Will
can pick
drop
up
one,
though,
and
so
now
it's
with
not
his
too
teammate
bad.
making that move
Sova
in towards
ult
the
goes
C side,
in.
potential
On another
realization
eco.
that this is clear. They could have some space, but they're rotating forward into more and more players.
This is looking real good for Navi here again,
Yeah,
playing
they
on
need
the
a
lesser
hero.
gun round too. Coming out pretty big, but still every chance it doesn't go their
All
way.
came down to that duel
CNET
pretty
doing
much.
work with the Guardian
And that's
into
a
this
spike
round.
down.
It
Okay,
looks like
nicely done.
Navi have battled their way back in, even if they had to commit the Killjoy ult.
That's a little bit unlucky.
I'm pretty sure wasn't expecting to
Yeah,
hide
he so
it.
wrecked that one. Nice util.
Probably
Okay, well,
spotted as well.
questioned the ult a little bit,
Information
but they
had
managed to
Navi
get a kill,
lose the
and
round
yeah.
from here would be
I didn't see if it did any extra
pretty
damage, but it did good.
incredible clutch out from Boo. 3 players all sat on the spike.
You
Just
might as well
rifles
try
now
and
as
do some
well.
damage. It's actually a massive
geared
round
up
for
and made sure
Navi.
to loot
3
their
people
bodies
that
for
get a
Heretics
gun upgrade.
players.
Yeah, it's
Finally, we'll
massive.
get that first round on the board. Look, it took
So
Heretics
3
a bit of
people
a time
survive,
on the
they all
first
get
map
gun
as well.
upgrade, and then they get
And for
3,000
Navi,
on
it's
top
taken
of
a bit
this.
time too, but now
All
finally
going to
they
be
start
buying
playing the
armors for
game.
2,000, but yeah, that's real decent.
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
thing. Is it's one of those rounds
They're
where
back in
I
it now.
feel
They had a
like
rough
it's
start.
the first time we've properly seen a lurk actually come out from Heretics, and just unlucky really that it actually bites them. But because you go rotating, going,
Yeah, the
okay,
hero
C side's
gun
currently
did pretty
clear, our
good.
teammates cleared it,
Got them the
and that
fast kill, and then
rotation through
seen it
B
picked
was
up
actually
for the
when
most
majority
important
of
one.
Navi players were waiting for them as they tried to push back. Obviously for now it still just looks like a blip on the radar of Heretics. They've been the dominant force so far, and with Overdrive ready for Kellogg's, again I'm expecting him to make that move very quickly.
They're trying to work their way in towards A main and march their way forwards. We've seen them open door into tree a couple of times so far. CNOD, not saying that, okay, I've only seen it a couple of times.
Oh boy.
Full commit towards holding this one out or backing away from it, sorry. But here we go once again.
Chat, you see how he never stands still as well? Just constantly moving in one direction, so you have the full speed as well. That is exactly how you meant to use this ult. It's a nightmare. Instead of doing like left and right as well, like obviously you're meant to keep moving, but you should pretty much just always go with the way that you're moving, just so that you keep the momentum up. Going left and right, you're a little bit easier to hit, but the full movement is the one. He actually used it really well. Yeah, a lot of ult's been used at the moment, but nothing down in terms of the spike.
Is this a rotate off towards C they're pulling out here as well? It's just a bait.
That's the thing. This has been the most.
Is he gonna stick this? Oh god, what a weird round now.
The rest of the team from NAVI
What a weird round now.
Fully ready for any sort of C-site execution. Instead, though, it is going to be.
Yeah, you managed to go towards B. They get this down, but they have no real map control other than secret.
For either side, that will likely change this.
CNED is massive at the moment.
They have to be careful of that spawn push though from CNED.
This duel is massive. Now he just needs to stay alive.
Problem, right? I mean, even with here, Zipan starting to get back into that form we saw in the previous map.
Smoke.
Paranoia comes across, finds one straight through the smoke as well. Zeke elsewhere brings him down, Avova into a second. It's Avova against two. CNED and Shao finds one for himself, but
16 HP. 16 HP on Shao. Damn. They are winning all the clutches as well.
Man, they were both tagged so desperately
nicely done.
low. Even still, just managing to isolate each individual
Nicely done from him.
Avova, top of the
Dude,
board.
Chad, this one
right
is
now.
fully on.
And well, it's still going to be a purchase for NAVI, but again, they seem to be on their last legs in terms of the economy, getting dominated when it comes.
Yeah, they got chipped away as well. CNED was super low.
Even when they're committed ultimately. I mean, look, he didn't get to do that very much during the first match.
Damn, Neil, I tell you what, Neil has some good coach replays. We'll give him that.
This is the battle now, though, because like you were saying, the bank is kind of broken. Sure, they've got a few rivals on side. Ultimate's nowhere near red as he invested a good kill.
Okay, instant A control recon here as well.
Keep on rolling. Bank not
We're
looking
going
too
in.
bad for
This
Zeke
is
and
now a
Avova.
massive
They've got
round.
both ults online, more are coming up soon as well. It's a dire time to be a NAVI fan and a NAVI player.
Yeah, and it looks like they're almost just letting CNED off the leash.
Yeah, they get 2-4 after this as well, so not gonna be able to buy.
Map control mean they can gamble players elsewhere, and it's unusual, but you can actually see they've committed 2 players into the B site right now because of how many hits Heretics have either had that land on B or go through B. They've been using it as almost a pincer to allow them another spot of the map for free.
It's a really frustrating thing about this map sometimes is you can try and focus on one side and just immediately rotate.
Damn, they are getting so much. They just use so much info to see if there's anyone here, and then now they just took it. So they used drone to clear close, and then there was a flash after. But I think the flash hit.
This time at least.
They have a.
It does seem like NAVI.
I think in my
pretty
ear, by the
decent.
way, you are quieter than the Spanish casters.
Okay. I'm a little bit calmer right now.
You are. I like it.
30 seconds left.
Feels chill.
Orb being taken. Pressure being putting in once again.
Yeah, no, but they've been doing good at stacking up the killjoys.
Especially, he's in a bit
Who's
of a
actually
tough
been
spot.
fragging as well quite a
He
bit.
comes
Damn,
out
that's a
on top. The good
massive
forward
kill.
from
How on
Shao,
earth
however,
has Mixwell
not
got
going to
that?
deem the same results.
Yeah, they get so much to the side again. When do they... Okay, they decide to plant for tree though, so maybe they need more people tree. Well, they were not expecting over here. Dude, they look so much better on this
Smoking
map.
off in towards tree at least for now, but it's NAVI that have got all the work to do this round.
And the question is, did they really even go for this? They've got to clear Avova, and that has been impossible. CNED's going to find one, but the trade is instantaneous. And now he's the only one remaining versus 3. And we've already seen how filthy some of the afterplants will be. Not even
really calm
needed.
as well for these.
Kellogg's
So 2-4 on top of
in
this, so
their
we're not going to
faces
be buying
once
into this.
again.
The Heretics have
7-1
another
up.
chance. The low buy,
I wanna know
it's
who
going to
had
be
that on
okay,
their
but it's
bingo
not great.
card
They have
going in after map number
most
1.
likely 8-1. Their money's out of control.
Certainly not me. I really thought, okay, maybe we're seeing it
Getting close to Viper ult as well.
7, and the rest will be all
Decent.
NAVI, but as it stands...
Not in the first 8 rounds.
No, no, no. We are careering towards that map 3.
Yeah, it's one that, again, I think is firmly in the favor of NAVI, but the fact that Heretics are starting to make a show of this, the fact that a lot of their players seem to almost steamroll forward once they get going, it might be the only way that they can win this series, just getting that confidence up. And right now, well, they're playing some very, very clean Valorant. And on the other side of things, NAVI are having to try and take some risks, and those risks are not paying off.
Trying to kind of shoehorn them in here with this harbor wall.
It is a nice
side
first
sides
skill.
itself to
Yeah, that creates a
one,
lot
force
of
them into the
pressure
cross,
out
two,
here.
expose
They've
themselves
done
a lot,
good
they're
at
being held out by the defenders.
manipulating a
That
lot of
really
the
is
map.
enough, it feels, for the side of
Even when they've
Heretics.
been
They
like,
said, right,
even
we know you've
when
rotated
Navi are
players
doing their
over,
early
now's our time
A,
to
they're
push
still
on
making
and
sure
go
that they
hit
get
the
out
A site.
towards
We've
A
got the Viper of
afterwards.
Mixwell in deep
Like the
here as
recon
well,
goes down and
able
then
to
they
do
still
some
kind of
damage,
force
which
their
means
way
on
out.
three,
It's been
there's only
nice.
one player.
Because Navi have
TP
no
comes through, but it's
duelist,
immediately
they
cancelled
can't
out.
really
It's Kellogg's to
play in
find
this
one.
area
They
at the
simply
beginning.
cannot be stopped right now.
So a
Tom.
lot of the times they've just been taking A for free, and it honestly
Ooh,
feels like,
maybe not.
oh boy, honestly feels like
Okay.
Heretics know that.
Returns. 2 instant headshots from the Sheriffs, but again, they double back. Mid-round calls have been sublime by Heretics, and another afterplant
Spike planted.
already.
And all tucked in behind the wall as well. So difficult because in a way Navi have sort of hindered themselves on a push back through here, which makes things even more difficult to work with. I'm with you as well. I think the mid-round rotations coming out of Heretics, sublime just in their calls in this round to go from C to A to then split in towards B. Again, it's dragging Navi all around the map. And they look a little bit lost here, like all they can do is go along for this wild ride as Zeke finds one. And now they know the bottleneck is all
spot's
coming in
kinda
through this
unreal.
simple little doorway that should be an easy mowdown. Shao finds one,
Nice
instantly
trade,
traded
it was a
out,
good
a 2
omen
versus
flash.
1. I think Sogetsu knows that this round is done.
Team A.
Yeah, nothing to lose, of
Nicely
course.
done.
only a pistol
Angel
available,
bought a
but
little bit too much into this as well. Has to
they are
go.
making
Has
this
to go
look
light
very,
armor.
very easy. And I'm liking the mix as well that we have currently coming
Yeah, the
out
timeout.
from
So
the
it's
likes of
like
Heretics, is you've got these
they
sort
have
of
to go
aggressive
close
players
here
like Kellogg's who are
and
getting up in
fight
the
for this,
faces of
because
their opponents
so a
who are
lot of what
constantly
they've been
pushing out
doing,
control.
and I do
And
think
then
this
you
is
have
why
the likes
duelist
of
is
Boo,
important on this map
who
as well.
just
Is once
isn't
they
dying.
fight,
7-3.
I haven't really been able to
Barely
hold this
died
early, so I
entire
think they
map
need to
so
get
far.
C-Ned
He's
over
just playing
towards A main. It's the
passive,
only person that
waiting
can
for those
TP out.
afterplants.
So
We've
that's
seen
like the
same from
easiest
Evolver
change
at
up I can
times as well.
feel
He's
is like
been
they'll
the
push
most, I
aggro
guess,
over towards
varying
A,
player. Like,
and they'll
some
probably set
rounds, he's
C-Ned
been
on the
pushing
little
it towards
wall
the link and
towards
just
A
basically
if this is like the
fighting them in
exit
their
here.
face. The next round, he's
It's like the only
passive
thing I
and
can
waiting
think
for an
of.
afterplant. And
They
it's
don't
been
have a good
so
comp for
hard
shutting down
Navi to
A
read. You can
at
see
the
it on their
beginning.
retakes. Is sometimes they're expecting them to be all the way back, and then they get caught by
Both
an aggressive
timeouts?
player.
Yeah,
The
sometimes
next
it's,
time, they're expecting them to be close.
sometimes
and
it's
there's no one
like
there.
that.
Just rough. Understandably so, why they've used their second timeout in this half as well, not wanting to try and hold on to it for the second. Really for Heretics, you know, more of the same. It seems even after that first timeout, Navi couldn't figure out the answer, just the pace at which they're coming, largely enabled by that Neon as well, is just letting Heretics shine and really show what they're all about.
Yeah, I think that Kellogg's, you might look at the scoreboard, look at EMEA in 7, but the amount of times they've gone into a site and just basically had that for free, I think they've done well.
Okay,
at
let's
getting
see. So
ultimates
my
available
guess
as
is they
well
put
for the
Omen
likes of
over
Boo, so they
towards
can have a
here
round where
somewhere.
they just get the site for free in the lockdown, and their
Because
afterplants have been,
that's the
I
main
wanna say,
thing that's been a
almost perfect.
nightmare.
So
This wall
there's
might
not
make
really
it
a lot of
harder. They can
criticism you
insta
can
Omen
have
flash.
right now for Heretics, and I do wonder, like, this comp coming out from Navi, it seems to have a lot missing when it comes to being able to take map control
Yeah,
away
instant
from
Omen
their
flash.
opponents. Now they're
Yeah,
going to try it in
okay,
this
well, at
round
least we
with
called
just
it right.
all-out aggression from CNED, but I think that's been
Very
one of the
obvious
major
though, but
failures
it
from
needed
this
to
comp is
happen.
you can find
This
out
is the
where
first
they're
time they've been
going,
able to
but
hold anything
turtling
with
up
A.
hasn't mattered
Looks
when
like
5 men
Heretics
hit the site.
kind of knew this was going to
The
happen
thing is, I
at the
see
very
CNED
least,
coming in, I'm just
and
like,
then now
this
they
is
insta
really
react
CNED.
over
Are they
towards
gonna
C.
turn around at the
So
last second? In fact, no, now far too much being committed. The space being made once again by Kellogg's as he just charges in, sliding on forward. And sure, Angel gets one back, but every time there is a kill for Navi, there is a player on Heretics there
yeah,
to take
reaction
the
was good. They
trades.
get the ult down. Can they
again,
plant? The
Viper's
ping's
pit
good though.
available.
If we see a spam,
Now
ping
Seekers
was
might
great.
help the man. Actually, never mind.
Ping was so
Viper's
perfect
pick
here.
gone. Spammed out by Xiao. A hugely impactful kill. Tiger also going to give away the positions of at
Yeah,
least
they wanted to
one
try
of the
secure it
remaining
with the
players.
plant.
And in terms of ults, there's nothing left for Heretics. They're locked in by CNED. And even the turret just being online lets him know that nobody has left. They'd obviously hear the door if they tried to go in that direction. So right now, at least, information is had by Navi.
Only the one player option to take out the Seekers there as well does kind of ask that question. Okay, where is the second player? Not always needing to connect to be useful to you, but that turret still stands. It's just waiting, and now finally gets to save it off as they move a little bit too far away. It seems that this is where CNED now starting to look for his march on forward. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, spots one, an instant TP out as well.
Damn,
Might well turn into
Boo got a
second.
kill
No,
here.
Just gonna miss.
Do we-
But here we go. This is the flank that we were looking for. I think they have absolutely no idea that CNED is here, and he could ruin the round for them. Tries to go for a spray,
Holy
just
hell.
about finds his man. Boo's left standing, not gonna have enough time to make this one work as they
he's
try and
got it.
spray through
He
once again. In
is.
fact, no, will complete. Now he's got to win the 1 versus 2.
Gave us a small bit of belief. Okay, nice change up from Navi again, just having the one person over towards here. Meant that we could have more people here. The main thing that changed this whole round was pretty much on the 3-on-3, the plant, right? The pings coming in and them trying to get the better plant. Few things that, I don't know. When we got the Viper ult, at the very least the Viper shouldn't be planting if we want to go for a greedy plant. So yeah, they kind of messed up a little bit with that one. But still, nice ping, nice spam.
From Xiao as to where that player was.
Had the ping coming in as well that maybe just guided himself there a little bit, not so much onto the player.
Yeah, I honestly didn't look at the turret. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Okay, so I imagine Navi going to do the same thing because it just makes sense, right? It worked, so let's just try it again until it doesn't work. This time you might see Heretics actually force this a little bit. So again, I don't think they can punish you in this area.
Honest with you, with how stompy these rounds have been, it feels like they don't deserve that kind of scoreline. Like a 9-3 might be the one.
Oh, so aggressive from CNET, but he gets
this comp
nothing
doesn't
for
work,
it.
man. Not really.
They deny them
At least not on
completely in this
defense.
early aggression, and Xiao's just going to go for a miracle play, stuck in them up with no friends left.
Yeah, one at least at range here, Angel. But I think we can see exactly which way this round is going unless there is a miraculous 2v4.
Angel?
Angel goes nice and low.
Making this one doable, maybe.
Hard though here on towards the A hit.
Ank with a lot of H's. Ank H. Not entirely sure how I say it, but Ank, thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that. Welcome into the Slug Club. Chat, you know what to do. New member.
But I guess if they give him the spike, they'll have that lockdown for post plant, and
appreciate that, dude. Welcome.
Tough break for anybody on the other side.
It's interesting, given it was the Killjoy obviously about to come online, that would all but guarantee this round once they get it down. But for now, at least
keep an eye on Zeke at the moment. Yeah, not gonna feel confident to plant here after what happened last time.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, they're going to be denied by the Reckoning.
Okay.
Keep an eye. Oh boy, give us the Killjoy. Give us the Killjoy. What's the timing like?
Being opened can now actually give
this is so weird. Zeke gets a kill. But then, do they expect the Killjoy here? I'm not sure. James TM with the Prime. James, thank you so much, mate. Welcome into the Slug Club. Chat, you know what to do again. Another new member. Thank you so much, James. Welcome in, mate. Appreciate you.
Instead, does he dare? Waits for it to go down, finds two for himself. Oh my god, may have almost turned this back on its head, but he has no idea where
Zeke has repositioned well, but there is an alarm bot here.
Does he look high? On comes the alarm bot, nothing really coming off the back of that, but that's all the information that he needs to try and turn this on its head. But he's got a bait.
Holy hell,
and Zeke, what a peek coming out.
Yeah, what the hell was that peek?
Nice attempt. A nice attempt from Navi to turn around that again looked inevitable. But that's
what do they do now? They still can't hold them. They might even put 4 people over towards A main. I just can't work out how they hold A main.
The fact is, again, like I mentioned it, this composition doesn't look great for those sort of aggressive takes because you don't. The only real like sort of damage you can do is off the back of a nano swarm or off of a shock dart. Which again, in comparison to even what they had with Gecko or Raze,
okay, they're just leaving them. They're just leaving them to take A main.
Heretics have challenged.
Yeah, Heretics are just like, well, we can just take this every single time. That's a huge kill, though.
He got a couple of ults to play behind as well. I mean, let's ignore the Oma one for now and look more towards what Getsu with the lockdown. That
definitely
really
think a good amount of props should go over towards Heretics, though. Although I'm not the biggest fan of the Navi comp, I just think it lacks too much stuff. Right, just being able to defend here and then on attack, it's going to be hard for them to get through choke points. But Heretics have done good, like at least so far on attack, recognizing that stuff. They've hit over towards A all the time. Like they've made sure they've had A control all the time, whether it's with one person or whether it's with multiple people.
So basically just having no impact. Both teams are going to be forced back off what they wanted, and this now makes things that little bit tougher.
Yes, it's a weird round.
They're going to go quickly in towards the A site, trying to
it's actually a pretty good setup from Navi, and they managed to TP into here as well. This is a strong crossfire.
The flash leaves so many blind, but it's actually a good trade. In fact, Mixer wants that for 3.
Oh my god!
Navi had them dead to rights, but Mixer comes up huge.
What's going on?
Now Saigetsu 1v3 to try and get that curse.
Just when it looked for a second like Navi might have a way back in, Heretics slam the door in their faces. And Soigetsu, he knows this one's looking pretty hopeless. Not too many ways of fighting his way
it does happen. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I thought was more mad out of all of that stuff, like out of that whole round? The thing that made me feel like what is going on the most was this person's reaction to push forward. They had a sick crossfire, and this guy decided to push forward. That's mad.
A pop flash leaving so many players blind. Zipan looking like he was about to have the multi-frag of the century. In fact, last map, I think he would have hit it every
Yeah, they had an
single
insane
time,
crossfire, and he really
Mixwell
went for it.
just making that decision. And then not today. Not today.
One of those, they've got so much more work to do, it feels like. I mean, for Navi, again, it could not look more different as a story compared to what we saw back on that first map.
Okay.
Still, so much to do.
Damn.
And now we're going to actually throw things
What
over
a
to another
strong
interview. I
half.
believe
What
we're
the
very
hell's
lucky today
10-2?
that we have got
Wow.
Meg's boyfriend.
Let's see. There's a pistol.
Honestly, Tom, you hit the
A
nail
pistol
on the head.
and,
We are definitely very lucky.
I don't know
we
what
have
else
So
though.
Marcus, the boyfriend of Meg, sounds like Egg,
don't know what
a
else they'll
Navi
do.
content creator. I gotta say, you're looking like a certain agent in the game. Is this on purpose? Did you come cosplayed as Gecko?
Yeah, so I definitely did cosplay as Gecko, and I kind of wish that I came with my green hair today.
Oh.
But I thought, like, if I'm gonna have the shaved head, I might as well rock it for like a year or two.
I like it. You'll be back tomorrow anyway, so maybe we'll see the cosplay tomorrow. Now, you are a notorious Reyna enjoyer. You play a lot of Reyna, a duelist in ranked. Now, your team Navi right now, they're not running a duelist at all, and they have CNED. What do you make of this comp?
I mean, CNED as a duelist, right? Everyone knows him as a duelist, but I feel like Navi, their strats, they can play whatever they want. I think it comes down to the actual calls themselves, right? And I feel like the experience they have on that team, especially with Angel, I don't think it matters too much that CNED's not on a duelist. Obviously, everyone likes to see CNED on Jet.
I think they let Angel cook too much sometimes.
Maybe even Reyna one
I
day,
think
you know.
sometimes they
You
let
can-
Angel
you can
cook
pray,
too
you can
much.
pray.
I'm the sick man, maybe.
I mean, you mentioned Angel there. I know you spent a little bit of time with him as well. Talk me through what's he like as a leader, as a person.
I mean, Angel as a person is fantastic. Like, we literally were playing table tennis earlier on, and talking about Valorant while playing table tennis, it's difficult, like very difficult, but it gave me so much insight into the brain of Angel, right? Not only is he a nice guy, but when we saw that first game on Pearl, you saw some of those strats, like you saw how much they abused A, and it's just things like that, and his being a veteran, obviously, is, I think, a big advantage for any team.
Well, if there's anyone going to bring it back in this map, it's probably going to be Angel. And I'm going to throw this back to your casters, I believe, Mitchman's duo.
You cast with Mitchman as well?
Really?
Well, we're Mitchman's duo, like both of us, so...
The Step Bros.
I really don't want to keep
I don't know
that
why
going.
she started. The thing is, she said it, I think, 3 times so far this broadcast. It's killing me.
Yeah,
I won't quote you.
What's that?
Do you like bunk beds? That's the real question.
Chat, what is going on? Okay,
Well, here we go. This
let's
is
see
what we
that.
need to
It's
see
a
from
must-win pistol.
Navi, what have they got over on this attacking side? They brought it back last time around when playing versus Koi, but this is looking like a very different story. Of course, having the
Yeah,
Neon
chat, they're going to
over
do
on
this
that defensive
every
side,
single
a
round.
lot of
It's
the
the
time
most
has had its
one-dimensional
issues,
comp,
was
surely.
not finding ways to work it. I'm more interested, though, in the fact that Over
They
has
have to
already
take
pushed
A
all the
main
way
all
through
the
C.
time because they then have to be
Okay,
splitting
they're
into
trying to make
this.
this one work
Also,
out.
at least
Questions
A
coming on
is
the
one of the
backside
only
of it
sites
all
they
as
can
well,
split.
or do
Can't
Navi
imagine
get
they're ever going to
control
hit
in
C,
time?
really.
You know, we saw
Other
on the
than
defensive
Omen
side, they
TPing
had
across.
no mollies, no real ability to slow down the attackers of Heretics, but on the attacking side, they have things like Shao.
Damn, okay,
As we
let's,
mentioned
this is gonna be
earlier on,
this is gonna be
the
fun at
ability
least,
to do
chat.
a good bit of work
We get to
on
see
this
what they've
Sova.
got.
I really want to see them put this comp to good use. They've picked it for this reason. If it's going to shine, it's got to be early in the second half.
Yeah, well, it's got to be early or it won't be at all. They'll
That's
be
it.
running out of rounds to play with. Zeke only going to be able to find one, and the problem is with these deep players, they have to clear this. Oh, an interesting peek from CNED. Maybe a little bit
Oh, what?
over-aggressive. And Boo just gifted a kill. This was looking like a done deal for Na'Vi. Now, player already on the spike. They're not reacting to this at all. In fact, he's just going to stick it all the way. This is the Avova special, but it just goes down at the last second.
Holy hell.
They managed to
Oh
deny.
my
It
god, that was
looking
close.
like another round where he was just going to defuse in
Damn,
front of the eyes
I had
of the
full belief
opponents.
that
He's been
Navi were
doing
going to
this
win
for
it, and then it
years,
really turned
but
fast.
finally someone stopped it.
Okay, it's fine.
Famous saying we have elsewhere.
It's fine, it wasn't even close.
They hold the whole way through.
Navi
It's
get the pistol that
almost
they
looked like he
needed,
got it. If not for the
and they
right
go in
click
for
coming
their
out to deny it and put
heavy
him in
approach
dirt
of the
as well.
bonus round. So yeah,
Well, I mean,
honestly,
we saw
this
Devera with
one,
a pretty crazy right
this
click
one
last
might be
week,
on.
but this one not quite
Tack, what's
standard,
up?
but still enough.
Chat, let's get a lot
Sure,
of
that's
slugs
the
in.
going. So
for
without
Penny.
things squaring out this way,
The bunny.
it's a good but shaky
5 months
start
in the
for
Slug
Navi,
Club.
is
Thank
the
you so
way I
much,
can
Penny.
describe it. Didn't also clock, by the way. Wasn't even the right pick that got the kill. It didn't help, but didn't get the kill.
I don't know what he's got his binds to.
In terms of how they're approaching this again, chat, just heavy priority of rifles, 2 deaths.
Hey, there's been weirder things. There's been weirder things done by professional players, that's for sure. I'm sure there's still some pros that play with inverted mouse. And we call those people wrong-uns. Okay, old. That works too. They're used to playing, what, flight simulators,
I
maybe?
guess, yeah. Given that was all that was around about 30 years ago. 30, 40 years ago.
I don't think we have anybody from 40 years ago. So
No. No. Not on the pro circuit.
Oh man,
now at least. I don't
he
think
just left him over.
Vova's gonna get anything that
He saw the
aggressive
recon
position.
and
Of
just
course, this is
left
such
him
a
over.
minute investment.
Oh my goodness,
There's
poor
not
guy.
really any expectation
That was
here.
outrageous.
Shorty available for Mixor. I don't know how he's
He
going to manage to make
dipped
this one
without
work,
shooting the recon.
unless someone gets very overzealous.
That was so harsh.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration. And I'm not really convinced he's going to find it here. He's going to back away instead. Like, yep, I saw that range. I'm not invested with the shorty in hand. So away he backs, and by the looks of it, unless he's going for a big rotate off. In fact, he is. Yeah, he's trying to go close on the side. So
worst case, he
for a
dies
second.
to the spike.
Exactly, yeah. That's what he wants to look for here. If he really going to donate away
Okay,
too many more.
very nicely done. They keep 3 rifles, and we're going to have a very good bonus because the people that bought the pistols are going to buy rifles on top of this, so we have the full one. We have the full one. Everyone's got their rifles out.
2 more will be bought up in this round, so they're at least going to play
Let's see. Step 1 was get the pistol. Step 2 is win this round. Let's see. They must be going over towards aiming. Like, it's the only thing the comp can do. It has to get a main control.
Fairly important one for Navi. If this comeback is going to be possible, they need one hell of a streak of rounds, and I also feel like they need to crush the confidence of Heretics while doing it.
It's almost like looking like a bit of an invert.
Yeah, looks like Heretics know this as well. Okay, so they put 1 person. They get to put 1 person here so we can have a rotate. What on earth in reaction do we do?
Even that didn't work because they then went on to go and lose the 5th. So Heretics, be mindful of them falling maybe the same way as CNET goes in deep. Who needs Kellogg's in this case still make these aggressive plays
I don't
work,
think this.
so far Navi are marching on
It's
their
a good
way
round. They
through
get it.
4v3 with the spike going down.
Like, it is a good round. I'm pretty sure they're going to win this one, but I just don't think it's reliable enough. But let's wait and see. Like, obviously this is a great start. It's a good round, but with Omen doing that all the time, I don't know. I don't know. I think Heretics are playing this fine as well. They got a little bit unlucky with this one.
All the way back towards that attacker spawn. I think they're just going to
basically just using it, kind of like we said in terms of like BBL uses it on Icebox, right? Just full duelist Omen, where you are just TPing into the open, essentially.
Navi going to work their way out as a 4 here. Smart play too, in case their trade is required. Getting themselves away to safety by the looks of it. And that'll be that round done. Navi up to 5.
I would be so fine if Neilzinho wanted to call a pause here. I think there's a lot they can talk about. Like, they got caught off once by the TP, and again, on LAN, you're not going to be able to hear it, so that's fine. But, okay, they're at least pinging about it. So I reckon, yeah, he literally pinged where he TP'd to, so that's cool. They don't need to pause anymore as long as they're talking about it, because that is how they're going to get through these choke points. So they just need to be ready for that.
The thing is, though, Heretics, they did save a few rifles into the last round. It's going to leave them with some vulnerabilities on Zeke and Boo, but the rest can still try to make something of this one.
Goes into a low buy. Money's still going to be here for Heretics. Save guns, and they can buy next.
Here at least, managing to make things work, seeking out ground with the use of the Sova to march their way forward and get control of the orb, which they'll collect, and then back themselves away by the looks of things.
Interesting gamble, because in theory they just did the hard part. Right, they just did the hard part of going into one of the sites which they shouldn't be able to get into. Right, through the choke points that they shouldn't be able to get into. So for Heretics to stack both of these is kind of interesting, but I also like this a lot. They hear the Yito go out over towards A, they get information here and they push here, so they can have a heavy stack here. They need to be ready for the pivot as well, but they can have a lot of people here. Okay, this is nice from Heretics. I was wondering a little bit, I didn't really get it too much, I thought it didn't make too much sense, but now they're pushing out, it makes a lot of sense. I like that they're being proactive. It's a great Omen for
ready to be collected. But Angel marches on in, finds one for himself, seeking to a trade of over there too. And it looked like a bit of a crossfire on towards Navi, but they're coming away with as many of the kills as they can possibly collect. And 3 versus 2,
How on
and now
earth
just
did he
Boo
get
and
that
Mixwell
kill?
to push it off the flank.
Wild. And this guy has the best
They don't even
timing
know they're here, I
ever.
think.
Do they spam the box?
Wallbang is all
Yes,
can really
they do.
go
That's the
for.
spike
Mixwell's
down.
gonna
Damn,
get
the
it.
timing in this round is
20
madness with so
seconds
much
now,
going
the
on.
pressure back onto NAVI. If they get it into an afterplant, it's a completely different story.
Keep an eye on the
They're gonna
time.
have to
Got an extra
reposition
molly
the
if he wants
spike,
to
and in the
send it.
meantime, we've
They
seen a
might not
rotation
consider the
coming through from the
reposition.
heavens. Boo not with the best gun, but
SA
it's
has seen it,
strange as
checks it. Nice,
possible.
he's done.
However, Mixwell again is going to need a clutch.
Seen it with that shutdown finally walling into things. Had a really rough first half,
Okay.
and there he is closing out a second. Navi, it looked real
Not
rough
bad.
when they were down
Not bad from
10-2,
Navi at the
but
moment.
they're
It's getting kind
halfway
of
up the
close.
mountain
There's
at
still
this point in
another,
time.
yeah. Okay, a lot of stuff they need to talk about.
I think Heretics round there was actually very good. Like the flash.
The
we
comp
saw this
fundamentally
on
still
Pearl
is
as
going to
well,
go out
so
A
a lot
main,
of the
so
time
they
on the
definitely need to
defensive
try
side,
and cut
the
that
fan
out.
has to get them the information. Pops a flash over the top, finds out there's no one C, they push C and B at the same time. They
First
get
half
that
score
gamble
was
rotation.
10-2.
The only problem was the flank was too slow. If the flank comes through 2-3 seconds before, they probably win that round.
Heretics saved three
For a round
rifles
where
and
they
then
had
just
some weaker
bought
weaponry, it's
Stinger
not
and
bad. Now
a
they're gonna give the coach
Frenzy with it, so they can
Neilzinho a
fall by
chance
this
to try
round.
and find that
Basically, it
gap,
was a
because
low
we've
buy
already seen one half
with
of
save
Valorant
guns.
where they get absolutely stomped when it comes to their defensive side. They want to stop it early.
And not forgetting that we had Navi use both of their tactical timeouts in the first half, so they probably also welcoming the short break for themselves here too. But equally, they were the ones on a roll. The momentum very clearly in their favor for Heretics. That big question comes in, okay, how do we slow this down? It comes in at exactly the same time as it did for Navi too. After 4 rounds, that's when they feel they've seen enough, because that 5th round was the full buy round coming back the other side. Assuming they played it out in a similar way here, but you also are going to see a full buy out.
Yeah, it heavily depends on comps for sure.
Yes, we are. They've got to win this round, or once again, economy's back in the gutter.
Yeah, I always think that one of the goals for Heretics earlier in the game should be Kellogg's on and op. Like, the difference he made, even on Pearl, where they got smashed, was huge. Like, he is someone who can just open up rounds for them and completely change things. Now, it's not something that's on the board once again. In fact, he's one of the highest spenders when it comes to this defensive side, it seems, in bonus rounds.
Flash,
and maybe there's
stun,
a reason behind that. He's
smoke
looking
as
to try and
well.
take some of that early control, but with the cascade already,
Didn't want to keep
somewhat
pushing because of
it
the
back.
recon.
He has
No
to
one
be
to
a
shoot
little
the
bit
recon.
careful. He seems like he's somewhat
Hey,
in
he's
no
gonna have to
man's
get out.
land with some of his
Okay.
teammates already sectioned off.
This has been nice
See, I
from
like that at least
Navi.
they're trying to make this early
They
aggression
create the
towards
question mark
Navi
here,
and
they
stuff.
leave one here,
Now,
now
that
they're
was
going to
missing a little
rotate
bit in
over
those
towards
first
C,
4
but they're
rounds.
leaving the
But
person
when
that
we
has
saw
to
the
TP
game
through the
start,
choke
the
point.
speed and the ability to support and work together, they
So
got
I'm
a
going to leave this
triangle
question
of
mark here
3,
until it gets
all
cleared.
pushing aggressively in towards A
Looks
main.
like
It
Heretics
feels
have a
it's
good
gonna
read
stop
on this though.
deterring
3
Navi
people over
away.
towards C.
The problem is, they've already
Question
had
mark's
Kellogg
about to get
rotate
cleared.
straight over, so it's still
Does
the same
he
player
hear
over
it?
here forming once again.
I'm not sure.
and
Either way,
really
question
three
mark's
to
been cleared.
contest into them.
How are they meant to get through these choke points?
Early
Wow, they
snake
used a
bite
lot of
delay.
util here.
As you mentioned, having that extra control could be huge. And with Seekers being popped, the early rotation's actually going to tell them, okay, they are still going in the direction of the C site. I'm more so looking at that Reckoning, though, from Angel. This being thrown into C could cause some major issues for the players on the other side.
Just good time out as well. They have one coming in through Spawn and towards the Omen. They saw it and they followed it. So they know now that the
Let's see what the
full hit is coming
overwhelm's
in towards
like.
C. You can see a
It's a nice
potential flank
recon
coming
again.
in, but that means really the
Struggles to
attackers
get through
need
choke
to go
points.
quickly. They push it over
They
the
got through the
utility.
choke point
Kellogg's
and
had
there
a
was no
beautiful
kill
chance
there.
at a 2 or a 3,
I don't know if we missed
but
a flash,
found
but the aim was not
absolutely
good.
Nothing. A 5v4 for Navi as they push in deep here. It's a bit of a trade coming in on towards the backside, but Navi once again have full control.
Damn,
and
they're
Zeke on the flank towards
they're
Bound
actually
is
making
all
it
by
work, and it's
himself.
literally all because the recon is not
First
getting
goes his
shot.
way.
Like the
Zipan
recon is
tagged.
doing crazy
Hell of a
work
lot
at the
to do,
moment.
but some lower players on the other side, and anybody giving him an angle could definitely risk this round. But you can see how passive the remainder are being. Just looking to watch on the cross. Counter flash is being thrown in, the angle being watched as well, and every single time he goes to the peak, he's chipped away. Elevated
Yeah,
angle
nicely
from
done. They
Angel as
forced
well.
them down to
The
another
climb
eco, another low by
continues,
3,000
7
on
to
top of
10.
what you can see here.
And Navi even hitting late.
Okay.
make things work.
Yeah, they're honestly, because the recon's not getting shot, it's causing them a nightmare. They use so much, like they literally brute forced it all the way through. But that kill there on Kellogg's was everything.
It only takes a round or two, and
Because it felt like if Kellogg's got the first kill, there was a few behind him that were vulnerable, and it could have kind of spiraled out of control.
Round 5 and they still lose the round. This is where things get ropey for a few rounds because their economy once again is in absolute tatters.
Yeah, I think a lot of what was good there from Navi was their play off the Reckoning. not allowing
Flash
that to
goes
be
in
the
early.
only
I like to see the
utility.
Heretics
A
are
lot of
still
players
holding
are
on
looking
to A.
try
I
and
think it's
dodge
important that they
util,
do this
so
a lot.
They throw out a dart to scan up everybody and then have
The
flashes
good news
in
for
as well,
Navi is they
just
have
hitting those
another
players in
ult to potentially get them over
horrible
towards the
positions.
site.
Now though, well, at least in the early stages of the round, they're just farming up those ultimate orbs.
I think 10 wasn't enough. Man, I still think it's so fine. Like I'm looking at that round there, and I'm looking at the B round that we saw, and I just don't think. See, I'm not sure this is the answer, but they're low buy, so it's fine to do aggro stuff. I just don't think it's reliable enough. Still, they're doing great at the moment. Did have over here.
Making his impact felt when he can get quickly. As you know, towards
Nice
tree,
shot.
Evova's there, ready
Nice
and waiting.
flash.
Great paranoia coming across. Turn of at
Oh,
least
it's
slightly,
unlucky.
but
You
no.
nearly did everything there.
Finds Evova.
They rotate into the rifle.
Boo managed to retrieve it. I don't even know if they know that he's here. And he's actually
Saved
been
him.
helped out a little bit by the utility.
Oh my god, it saved
quick
him.
headshot
It was the
leaves
most
Xiao
perfect
alone.
bit of util that could have happened.
Steps are going to be heard by Mixwell. The sprint
30
in towards the
seconds
other side of the map.
Okay,
Now, an
Clutch
after plant
King
here
with
for
the
Xiao
spike
could be
going over
huge
towards C,
because
25
of that
seconds.
Hunter's Fury in a post plant. Definitely tougher versus 2, but he's going to want to try and isolate a fight.
That's exactly it. He needs to force out a 1v1 here, so needs to move aggressively. Try and find at least one player out, but they've made the perfect call. Mixwell, Kellogg's stack up together, looking for that trade and seeking
Damn, he's
out
going.
their prey.
I was going
But
to
for
say, is he
now,
going to go around the
Xiao's
world?
backed away in towards spawn. They'll have a good inkling that he's pushing towards backside here.
Pinging the spike if he wants to ult, but obviously going to give away his position.
Online, that's what he's looking towards.
He's still got
Wants to
full
get a
belted
kill
utility.
fast at least.
Shock darts.
Damn.
Damn,
look at him now, falls back as he has ult.
Just fall all the way back. Throwing that utility, Hunter's Fury.
Okay, sticking half fast.
And, well, he's going to manage to dodge it. Now the time is kind of going
I
to
think
be
he's got it.
everything.
I think
It's gonna
Kellogg's
have to be
wins.
the sprint back.
No
I think
time.
he's got this one.
No.
He's just
Yeah,
getting the
nicely,
fuse in
nicely
front of him.
handles. Went a bit too
Xiao's
far away with
just
that
too
ult.
far away. Kellogg's plays that to perfection. And Heretics have their 11th.
Man's got absolute happy feet. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not
respect
quite in the
for,
fashion they wanted to win,
respect for
but you
trusting in
take
the
any point on
agent
the board because one
and
more
sticking half on
means
that
they
one.
guarantee
That
at
was
least
everything.
overtime, if not the momentum to push on to
That
the
was
win.
that was all down to
Massive
being
play by
Neon.
Kellogg's, who now has that ultimate online.
Spike down.
Yeah, I think just Xiao,
Look at this, just
Xiao's
a
reliance
dance
on it.
here, just back and forth, baiting him out time and time again.
It's
Such
also
a-
the read, just to tap it once so that he would use that last burst
He's-
of the Hunter's Fury.
He's doing it every time now.
Already. That shock
doing the
dart was
shooting a
physique.
lot.
He's
That's
doing the
so
shish every
disgusting.
time.
They see the Tiger going through, so they try and shock dart
Oh
him.
my goodness.
And Seedhead almost catches them on the escape.
Wanted to come back and bite with a little bit of fury here as well. Really remind Heretics that they're the ones that have been behind in the second half.
You
Other
think
rules
he's
online, let's not
bugged?
forget as well.
That's funny.
They have the lockdown here. They dropped us in the right corner. This forces
Damn, that's a lot of
everything
util.
away. Another shock dart connects. It's looking rough to be Zeke in this round, but still not looking too unhealthy.
Yeah, both
Here
teams
it
have a
is.
lockdown.
Again, I mean, an
think
ult
that
definitely
there
helps
might
you
be
get
an
over towards the
instant
site.
counter coming out from
That's
Boom.
nice
Yeah,
though.
just
Is
making
it?
sure that,
Is
okay,
it too
you've got a
slow?
lockdown, I've got a lockdown. We don't really care. You can have that extra little bit of space.
Nah, looking like it might
We'll
be
give it up.
perfect. Who's that tanking it?
And well, one player detained, but it doesn't really matter. Nothing that can be done from the side of Na'Vi and basically forced back to their spawn.
Straight back to B. They
Here's
kind of
the
left
hard
this
hit
though.
towards B coming in. Out comes the wall, in comes the push by the looks of it, but immediately smoked out. Not
Yeah,
much
it's
that
a
can
bit
be
of a
done.
deep
If
smoke,
they're
you
trying
might
to
try
go
to
deep,
play
they've got
them.
the idea because flashes are coming through. Seeker's on the follow-on through as well. Angel for a second was looking to go in for a challenge, but was backed away at the last second. And now they've got this site control. It's a big fight back for Heretics.
Some of these drills are wild.
Drone going to be sent in as well, just using this utility all in post to try and hold them back as long as possible.
It's such a hard
Kellogg's might
retake
even
this one
continue
right
using
now.
overdrive here
It's
to
a
try and take that
insanely
little
hard
bit of extra
retake.
space. The
How
problem
on
is
earth
they've
you meant
been
to win this
fighting
one?
forward, and once again with Mixwell falling, that's some extra space that can be held by Na'Vi.
Well, as the wall drops down, this
Yeah,
is where
there's
the chaos
there's too
really
much.
begins
Like when this
by the
comp
looks of
gets
it,
over
though,
towards the site, it's
Heretics
pretty
saying,
much
yeah,
done.
we'll leave this
But
one.
it's
We need
getting
these
onto the
guns. We
site.
cannot
That's the
afford to see
struggle.
this utility broke. This economy broke. We are so close here that we don't mind giving up at least the one round.
Yeah, good response.
Oh.
Angel, well, actually
whoa.
going to go down to the spike, and so will
Okay, that was
Xiao, but
kind of nice.
financially it doesn't
Okay, so they
really affect
save
them
3
too much.
guns.
One
They
is
get
trying to
1-9
cut down some
loss
of those
bonus on
remaining
top of
weapons,
this. So
and again,
saving
the
was
same
pretty
credit we
important
gave
for
to
them.
Heretics, we have to give Na'Vi Just a good mid-round
We're
call
gonna
to
be
take back
buying
that
on
B
top of
site.
this.
And with the fact that they
Okay,
had
they go in for it.
utility, it was just too much for Heretics to get back in. Like, you're facing
We do have Neon ult,
flashes,
and Boo
drones,
doesn't have a
shot
gun, so
darts,
if they wanted
just
to,
not
they
given
could
enough
switch,
space
but
to find anything. But I like the fact that they're willing to just back out and go, okay, we need to make sure that we have weaponry for the next round. Let's not risk it all here.
I think both teams, you say there as well, the credit that you gave to them there, I think I absolutely agree with. You know, we commended earlier on when on the attack inside, Heretics attacked in towards C, backed out towards A, then came in through Baby Door towards B. It wasn't quite the full same long-winded journey that we just saw Na'Vi take, but it was that re-hit into an unexpected site from an unexpected angle that ultimately gave them the control they were looking for. 3 rounds still to go though, but then to even catch up to Heretics, let alone look to
they did
It is feeling that a little bit too close.
they basically did everything the same as NRG did
Watching that flank at
with their
least
eco strat.
very fast to get in on the
Wow,
rotation, but it's
fair play, he did great.
Boo
I can't
needs
believe these
get
two managed to
something
get
that little bit
kills.
more. It sounds harsh, but he needed to try and slow them down. Successfully, it seems that they now have a man advantage.
Nice trades coming in as well, okay.
Leaving
Xiao has another chance.
1v2.
Oh, we've been here before, haven't we? Bit of work to do here. Last time around, Kellogg's pulled the rug out from underneath him and made it uncomfortable. Flash coming in from Zeke, doesn't quite connect. Still has the gun up. Where does the push come in? No one yet rotating over towards Door, and in fact, they're stacking up together here. What he's got to try and do is isolate this into a couple of separate fights. Another one at close range as well. Bolt gets taken away. He's going to have to try and push on through here. Kellogg's for a second trying to bait out the defuse too. Nothing to come of it, and sure enough,
nicely
Kellogg's
done.
once again wins out against Xiao. They're moving
No
up to
shushes
12,
this
and it
time.
feels like map 3 is
4
all but
chances for
upon
them
us.
to bring us to a
These
third map.
close rounds from Heretics, but they're managing to grind them through, and I like the pace change. Like we see.
Yeah, wait, he did it? No, he
pace,
didn't.
And that flank coming through
Tried
from the
to
side of Heretics was sublime.
Did he actually? And I
Rebound
missed it.
second
That's
outside C,
incredible.
wanted to try and
Give me another
maybe
replay of
fight
it.
them early on the Na'Vi side. Instead, Na'Vi had the idea of a faster A take, and it ends up biting them. And I have to give credit to Boo. Only having a pistol coming out with a kill and just surviving those extra few seconds is enough.
That's incredible that he did it. I'll have to. Well, I'm not gonna watch it back, chat. I'll take your word for it. 4 chances.
4 in a row needed once again for Na'Vi.
What's the backstory? I
Just
don't know,
felt
man.
that
He
maybe
just
they were
started
starting
bringing
to
it
pull
out
things
for this
back their
game.
way. It suddenly slipped away from them very quickly with Heretics. You know, I say Heretics, Kellogg's has been the difference maker. 2 rounds now where he's won out that 1v1 against Xiao. 1 requiring a kill, 1 absolutely not, but still putting the 2
Okay, they're gonna go
points
for
on
the
board that his
same
team
one.
so sorely
It's
needs.
the
Again, they're gonna go for
same thing that you saw
aggression.
NRG do.
Paranoia. CNED has just been blitzed. 3 players pushing him. And while the Seekers are going to spot the majority outside this side of the map, and Heretics, they
It's a
fall.
nice start to
They
the
don't
round.
overheat, they don't overface, but they put the fear
You
of
take
God
out the
into
main
hearts of
smoker.
Na'Vi.
I just like that composure.
You take
as
out the
well.
main
You find
smoker,
that entry
or
kill,
should we
you
say
know
the
they're
main
watching now
duelist, the
as in
person
Na'Vi
that
this
helps
is.
us going
Have to
over
figure out
towards
how to
here.
make things work
This
with
comp
Duelist
can
while
only do
coming up
one
against
thing. It
Vibe.
has to go over
Let them
towards
sweat a
A.
little bit. Don't go
You can just leave
over
one
greedy and
person
try and
C,
turn this into a
honestly.
4
Look at who
versus
he
4
killed.
accident.
Yeah,
No,
so they
I
do.
just like that they're
Leave
showing
one
the bit of
person
composure
C.
they've got.
They can
Loads
stack
of
A a
useful
lot
stats
heavier.
here
They have
around
early
the A
info
side
over
by the
towards
looks of
B
it.
for a B
Na'Vi
split.
running
It's
straight
looking
into
good from
the trap coming
Heretics.
out of this other side. You got the swarm ready to go off as well. There it goes. His door also spins. Dog coming on through, and Mixwell gonna hold tight at least for now.
He's got Viper's Pit available.
Reckoning.
Might
As
just
we
opt
can
to use
see,
it to try
this
and
is the
slow them
call at the
down.
moment,
Reckoning
but
will give the info.
holy
just tries to go through the
Jesus,
smoke.
what
Ooh,
the
he
hell?
managed to headshot him.
What
30
are they
seconds,
doing?
and Boo finds a big kill, but they're going the other way. Once again, these mid-round calls, but they've left Xiao behind. He's going to sit in this corner,
Oh,
just
man.
waiting for them to cross. A free kill on the first, and Xiao
That was,
is going to get both. Leaving him over to try and clutch this 1v3.
A 1v3 for himself. Oh, do not envy him being in this
Damn,
position,
okay.
and
Well,
sure enough, he won't even find it.
They
Great
really tried to
response
close
by
that one out a
Na'Vi
bit
and
too fast there
especially
for my
Angel
liking.
to the aggression
4
coming
chances
out of
down to
Kellogg's. It
3.
feels that Kellogg's
To close this out.
is at the center of every
Did that just mess up their
conversation
money?
within this game,
I think it
not
did,
because
right?
of the kills that he's finding, but because of how disruptive he can be to Na'Vi, and their success spins on that dime of, do we control his aggression, or do we fall down to it?
Yeah.
Alright, it couldn't be any worse.
The
Money's really low at the moment, so after this they get 2-4 if they lose this on top of it, so they have to like really low buy.
With the harbor for sort of sectioning off map control. It's something I enjoy watching. I definitely think defensively
Low buy,
they might have to go
eco,
back to the drawing
whatever you
board,
want to
but
call it.
that's something that Na'Vi do on almost a weekly basis.
So it seems with the constant change in agents they bring to the field, the different lineups they're experimenting. We mentioned earlier on, normally it's Gecko here, but this time around it's Sova coming out for Xiao as a little bit of an alternative. Can't say we strictly felt his presence 100% of the time, seen a couple of nice shot darts come through. The recon bolts expectedly normally being dealt with, but where I suppose there's a little bit of help being given is from these owl drones coming on through. I know it feels like a very minor detail, but being able to spot a lurking Kellogg's waiting to go aggressive and sprint into your face, those owl drones do force players back when they get scouted out by them. It's an easy
I
match
respect
through
the
the
attempt
hallways,
at the
down
bait,
goes
but
Avova.
yeah, maybe a little bit too obvious.
He needed help from his stepbro to get out of that one, let's be honest.
Very good. I thought you said we weren't encouraging this. What have you done, Yinsu? What have you done?
Why not? Why not? Again, late rotation back, but look at the read. Defenders are on it. Straight into the site. Mixer's already there. Of course, he doesn't have a lot to play with. Like, the
Wait, they're gonna have
expectation
a.
here is low.
They're gonna have so many
Buy them
people
a
here.
little bit of extra time. Mixer completely blind in the corner. In fact, they're going to go running into the snake bite.
Oh my
Made
god,
vulnerable
directly
by
could have
it.
done it.
A chance, but just off the
Yeah,
time alone.
there's probably
this
too
is
many
starting to
people
get
here.
very awkward. Trades back again into a 2 versus 2.
Keep an eye on
Real
the time.
potential here. And are they really going to go
Ooh, yeah,
back
they've
towards
just
the
got
beast
it.
like this
Just got
late
it.
in the round? If they were caught for even a second, there was a chance for this to go off the time.
I just can't help but ignore that once again, it's Xiao and
the
Kellogg
timing's
stuck in one of
close,
these
though.
situations. Kellogg has had his number every single time. Xiao this time round finds him, but it's a 1 versus 1. 2 completely fresh players enter the arena. Who wins
Damn,
it?
okay.
It's
Chat,
Boo
they
to
won out
close
a
it
lot
down.
of clutches.
Map 3 to
They won
decide
out
which
a lot
way
of
this series
clutches for this
goes.
one.
Well, I have to say, expectations going into this match.
I think they handled this
were
very
low.
well as well.
After the first one, I
I think they handled it very well. It felt like pretty early on they had worked out what the other team can't do with no duelist. Right, what it struggles to do. So yeah, I think that was pretty good. I didn't straight up not a fan of that comp. It just struggles at too many things in my opinion.
Well, it's a coin toss at this point as we head into the final.
So yeah,
And
this
doing
was
it in style, I know
good.
we touched on it several times, but the Asian select, there was just nothing to hinder Kellogg's, right? Again, we spoke about no real molish. Sure, you had a half